Jason Loucks coming at you from Foreclosure Investing System, secretlender.com, 7daysaleguy.com, all that good stuff. Real estate is busy. Real estate as an essential is open in all 50 states. I have students right now working on commercial deals, apartments, mixed-use retail office, rentals, rehabs, everything, you name it. Wholesale deals, we're all still there, still doing good. So that's good. I'm personally working on rentals and one rehab. I cut down on the number of physical rehabs that we do. We sell them without rehabbing them nowadays. But I also have tons of rentals. And I wanted to give you guys a little tip about handling your rentals right now. First things first, if you have tenants, and a lot of people are scared right now. They're scared their tenants aren't going to be able to pay the bills. A lot of people are out of work. The newest stat that I saw just this morning was 10.6 million people filed for unemployment in the last few weeks. So I don't know if that's 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but that's a lot. 10.6 million. Many, many, many times more than usual, of course. Something like 10% or something of all the people who work in this country no longer can. But there's a lot of people out there who are self-employed, and they haven't even been able to file. So they're not part of that 10.6 million. They're going to be on top of that. The number's going to go way up. So if you have, tenants, employees, even as the government is promising to pay everybody, and even as they're saying they're going to give free loans to the banks, and, look how well that worked last time, right? So, don't trust them to handle your business, right? One of the things you might want to do, and that we have done already that I think is a really good idea, is you should be proactive about this. Call your tenants. Send them a letter, a nice letter, not like an angry landlord letter. Obviously, you can be an angry landlord all you want. It's not going to help if they don't have money to pay you, right? So, one of the things we discovered a long, long time ago is we get less hassles from the tenants who understand that we're in this together. So, do a phone call, do a mailer, do a couple phone calls, whatever it takes. Leave messages, text them, whatever you got to do. I don't know how big your operation is. But if you've got a reasonable number of rentals to manage, now is the time when you want to do that kind of management, right? Send them a letter, shoot them a phone call, a text, whatever it takes, and just say basically, listen, hey, everything's messed up right now. I understand. So, what's going to happen is the government is subsidizing loans to small businesses. They're subsidizing paycheck replacement for, tenants and all this stuff. And basically, until all that stuff happens, if your tenants can't pay you, they just can't pay you. I don't know about it everywhere, but in a lot of places in the country, especially like here in South Florida, I guess as a state, it's probably state law, they've basically said don't evict anybody, right? They said they won't honor evictions for the next, because people have to be locked down. So you can fret about it, you can yell about it, you can argue about it, or you can call your tenants and say, hey, are you okay? Is there anything we can do for you? A lot of our tenants are, in my properties, are sort of working class. They're not poor. In other words, they can afford the place where they live, or at least they could have. Some of them are working less. Now, a lot of my tenants are working less. But since they're playing in good faith, we're playing in good faith, and we call them when we tell them. And then, Laura does most of those calls for me. We don't have unmanageably huge numbers. We don't have thousands. I don't want big properties like that. I don't like it. It doesn't make me very much money. The people I know who own hundreds or even thousands of apartment units say things like, oh, I'd be happy to make $100 a door. If I am making $100 a door, my 100 units only makes me $10,000. I mean, that's just not worth bothering with, in my opinion. Then they'll immediately start talking about cash flow and net worth, and everything they say sounds horrible to me because it all involves them working for 10 years and not making any money, right? Believe me, I know. I'm not saying I don't know. I do know. I have a very, very good friend who owns 11,000 apartment units and is constantly growing. And, if he's making $110,000 a month, good for him. That is an awful lot of money to borrow, burn, produce. A lot of people get paid before he does. I'm sure he's hurting bad right now, right? And I have another neighbor who he owns 282 single-family homes free and clear, okay? So he's not sweating it at all. He's fine. He's like, I might make a little less this month or a little more next month, but we're doing great. And compared to everybody else, The government's going to bail us out. We're business owners and investors. For normal people, they're going to get paycheck restitution. It's going to suck. It's going to ruin our economy. We know this, okay? It's done it before. The economy goes up, the economy goes down. Real estate goes up, real estate goes down. Be nice. Trust me on this, right? I've been telling everybody, you'll thank me later. Be nicer now than you think you should have to be. You're right. You're not wrong. You're correct. You can be mean if you want to, but it's not going to help. If people can't pay you, they can't pay you. You can't kick them out anyway. But here's the deal. We are going to get restitution. They're already giving us forgiven small business loans. You know, if you need to borrow money and not pay it back to pay mortgages and everything else and keep solvent, well, good on you that you started your business. Don't take it out on your tenants, okay? They're having a hard time just like we are. Be nice. Help them out. We've been making lists for our some of our tenants about where they can get, free food for kids' school programs and stuff. And we have a lot of working moms who buy houses from us. And so we're telling them, listen, like, here's some things you can do. And, I'm a dad, so we've got 3 kids, so we're looking it up for ourselves. If you're not, maybe just Google it. Just the gesture of you spending 10 minutes to look up where your resident buyers can bring their kids for an hour just for something to do, or looking up a place where they can go and get a free lunch from the school program because they normally would be at school right now, or whatever. A little bit goes a long way. That's all I'm saying. And we're not having any problems. I know a lot of people are. So take that advice however you want, but we're doing well. Okay? One group of people who's not doing well is that 10.6 million people recently unemployed. Okay? And I expect that number to more than double over the next few weeks because, like I said, that doesn't even include the self-employed people. That doesn't include the, contractor or contract work type employees. That doesn't include, self-employed. They're all just now able to file because, some of us that were self-employed, it was tough to say, are you even self-employed or in business if you're not, if you are the business, are you self-employed, right? And again, it doesn't affect us at all. And we're actually doing really well. But that's because we are structured to do well financially, if that makes any sense. I'm telling you this because 2 things might be true. Number one, 10.6 million is a big number. It means millions of foreclosures are going to be coming online in the coming months, regardless of anything the government says or does. Think about it like this. 25 million new people, of 20 million, we just said that number, 10.6, is going to double. And we haven't even seen the worst of it yet. So it could be more than that. But if that 10.6 million becomes 21.2 million, right? Even if 1% of those go into foreclosure, it's going to be way higher than that. But what if it was 1%? That's 200,000 additional foreclosures on top of the 600,000 to 700,000 that were coming online in the next 24 months anyway. That would mean foreclosures are going to go up by 33% or 40% or whatever that percentage is, right? Truth be told, it's going to be more than 1%. I mean, just think about it. There's no chance 99% of people who lose their jobs because of this are not going to have problems. And we're not even talking about, the people who serve them, the waitresses and the bus drivers who drove those people to work every day and all that stuff. They're struggling too, right? So we're just talking strictly about the unemployed people. So there's 2 kind of ways to think about that, okay? There's going to be a huge number of foreclosures in the coming months, and one of the most reasons about that it's important for you to know this right now, the institutional buyers are gone. The institutional buyers had their computer algorithms. The institutional buyers had their cheap money that they got by selling corporate bonds on Wall Street for 1, 2, 3, 4% short-term 1 year to 2 year money that they can't renew. There's not another person to lend them the money to pay off the old money. So what's happening is they're forced to sell and they don't have the money to rebuy. Okay, go on Zillow right now if you don't believe me and try to sell them your house. No one's going to call you back. They don't have the cash to buy your house right now, just like they've been saying that they're going to do for the last year. Well, a lot of those institutional buyers are gone. Okay? So less competition, many, many times more deals. It all adds up to the time to kind of sharpen the axe is right now. Okay? So if that 10 to 20 times more than that 1% comes up, you're going to get a huge number of foreclosures in the coming months. All right. So, to put it in the simplest form, the people who know foreclosures it's a boom time. We're doing great. We're going to do better and things are going to help. If you don't know how to help other people and get paid to do it, all right? So I'm not talking about taking advantage of people or, whatever other people think who don't know anything about real estate probably figure you have to do to survive and thrive in real estate. I'm talking about doing what we do. Make the world a better place. Help people out of a bad spot. Maybe even stop their foreclosure in the first place by buying their houses, right? A lot of people, all they know about foreclosures is REOs, right? Bank-owned properties. Wait till they're already gone. Wait till the people have already gone into hardship. Wait till things have already gotten past the point of no return. We don't do it that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I buy REOs all the time. I buy real estate owned by the bank. I buy bank-owned properties. I buy short sales. But I also buy pre-foreclosures. And I also buy inherited properties. And I also buy tax liens and deeds. And I also buy all those properties where somebody had a problem. And in many, many cases, we solve their problem. We don't leave them to it and just say, well, sorry, something bad happened. I'll just wait over here and pick up the scraps. That's what institutional buyers do. That's why institutional buyers get killed when markets turn like this. That's why they're gone. I'm not even saying this metaphorically. I mean, they're killed. They're gone. They're done. They're out of cash. They can't buy because they only know one way to buy them, and that's after foreclosures. And they pick up our scraps. After we buy all the pre-foreclosures, after we buy all the auction deals, after we buy all the really excellent short sales, after we even go in and cherry pick all the best deals at auction, they pick from what's left over for the banks. And they buy them by like the 100, 200, 300 property batch. They'll buy them, they'll buy $50 million worth of tapes. That's what it's called in the industry. And they'll get $50 million worth of houses for, 13, 25, 50 cents on the dollar. Well, you and I both know some houses at 50 cents on the dollar, you don't want them, right? By the time you fix them up and resell them, they're not worth it. So what happens is they go through all the trash and they do their very best to pull out all the best deals and make some money on them. And then they're stuck with all that junk. They picked out the scraps. Well, we don't do it that way. We help the ones who want our help, right? So the bottom line of it is in the next few months and maybe years in this couple years in this business, all of those people are going to need our help. They're going to need us who knows how to use OPM, who knows how to solve problems and knows how to help them, help the bank get rid of this issue, and help a buyer who needs in on the other side. And the people who know how to do that, who know how to solve problems, basically, if you know the foreclosure game, it's going to be a boom time, okay? And if you don't know how to do foreclosures, if you don't know what you're doing on that side of the business, if you don't know how to actually help people and get paid to do it, which is what I think our job is, right? People always say to me hey, don't you take advantage of people in foreclosure? I'm like, not at all, right? Not in any way. I'll give you a perfect example. I have a student named Amy right now. She's out in Oregon, right? Portland area for this particular deal. She's got a seller. He's an older guy. His mom was even older. He's inheriting a house. He calls her and says, I don't know if I can sell it or not. I don't know what to do. Mom passed away. I don't even know what to do. The courts are going to come seize it. The foreclosure is going to happen if the bank doesn't get paid. Can you help me? What can you do? Amy's taking care of it. Right? Is she going to get paid? Of course. She's going to make a boatload of money on that deal. But so's he. And he would have been really screwed. And if he stumbled upon one of those shark investors that we are not, that I'm always, advocating you not be, right? If he'd stumbled into one of those guys and they ripped him to shreds and took advantage of him and, stole the house for pennies on the dollar instead of walking him through the process, just like Amy is, showed him how to get the house probated, getting it under contract first so she knows she's in light, so she knows she can make a profit at the end, but doing what needs doing, making the world a better place, helping the seller, helping a buyer on the other side, helping a bank, helping a bankruptcy trustee. She's going to make a fortune on that deal, okay? And good for her. She should. She deserves it. She solved everybody's problems, right? The people who know how to do that, the people who know how to help others and get paid to do it, specifically in this foreclosure industry, they're going to thrive and they're going to succeed where everybody else is failing, okay? And they're going to do it, basically with halos on our heads, right? Because we're helping everybody out. We're not waiting for the banks to have to take them back. We're not waiting for the mortgage companies to go bankrupt. We're not waiting for the economy to crash first. We're not waiting for everybody to be what do they say, blood running in the streets? No thanks. I don't really want that to happen. right? If I can stop it, I will. I'll do everything I can. If the blood runs in the streets, it doesn't take me down. I'm not saying you should make their problem your problem. I'm just saying for the people who know how to make the world a better place, we're booming. For the people who don't know how to do that, they're dying, right? Their business is dying, right? Hopefully they're not really dying. That's not what I'm talking about. But the people who are the sharks in the business, the guys who only thrive by taking advantage of people, the guys who have been spooling tapes from REOs, they got a hookup at the bank where they can just get millions of dollars worth of derelict properties, they're gone. They're institutionally gone. They have nobody to back their loans anymore. Back their deals anymore, okay? So we're there to help. And if you learn how to help over the next few months in real estate, you're going to do a really great job. You're going to help save the economy, and you're going to get paid a lot to do it, okay? So good on you. Thumbs up if that's you. High five, all that good stuff. If that's not you, there's a couple possibilities. One, maybe you just don't know, okay? That's what I'm here for, right? If you go to foreclosureinvestingsystem.com, you'll find my stuff. If you look on my Facebook page, which is probably around here somewhere, I don't know. Click any of those links. I'm happy to give you hours and hours of free training just to show you how to do it. At the same time, you might be one of those affected people. If you're one of those 10.6 million people, or double that 21.2 million people that it's going to be soon, or if you're one of the people who serves them and you're seeing your business maybe not gone, maybe you're not out of work, but maybe you used to work 40 hours a week and now you're doing 30 hours a week, and next week it's 25 and next week's 20. You just don't have enough to survive, right? That's what's happening to a lot of self-employed contract employees and everybody else, okay? If that's you and you understand what I'm saying right now and you want to make the world a better place and get paid to do it, I have to tell you this. I know it's stressful right now. I know things are super weird right now with shutdowns and lockdowns and all that stuff, okay? I get that. This is the universe talking to you if you're that person. Your old life, your old career, whatever you want to call it, is fading away. Your new life blossoming. It's happening now on purpose. If you're one of those affected people and you're going to be able to get unemployment for the first time in many, many years, where you're going to have enough, maybe not to thrive. I'm not saying you're going to thrive financially while you're getting your education, but enough that you have time to get your real estate education. You have time to get out there and work some deals. They're talking about 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, unemployment or, paycheck guarantees, I guess, whatever the heck that is. They're talking for after unemployment. If you're going to be able to survive this financially regardless, you also just bought yourself a ton of time. If you just bought yourself a ton of time, that's the number one asset you need to get your education, to get started in real estate, and to learn how to help others and make the world a better place and get paid to do it. So if you do want to become in control of your wealth and income instead of some employer controls your income and your time, right? And now you have time freedom, you've got the asset you need. That time is more valuable than the money. However, you do need to get the education in order to get the money, right? So if you want to become financially free, if you want to be in control of your income and in control of your life instead of having someone else constantly bossing you around, I don't know how much louder God can scream it, but it's happening for you, baby, right? Listen, I learned the same lesson. I used to sell vitamins over the counter at G&C, General Nutrition Stores, the vitamin stores in the mall, right? They basically axed us. One day they changed the way they did the whole pay structure for all the people who worked there, and the best of us employees got like a 40% pay cut, and all the worst employees got like a 20% pay raise. They made it really clear they didn't want me there. I didn't just bolt that very day. I had obligations, right? I didn't have a family at the time, but I had roommates. I had school. Like, I was paying for myself to go to college. I had car loans. I had everything everybody has, except I was young, so I didn't have a family. But I stuck with it, but only as long as I had to get off the ground in this real estate thing, till I got my first flip check. And when I got my first flip check, I remember to this day, it was $28,872. It was like that. That was more money than I made in an entire year selling vitamins, and I was pretty good at it, working at G&C. And, it was especially more net. Because remember, if you earn money, the government, you don't pay taxes. The government takes taxes. It's already gone from your paycheck before you get it. But if you make money like we do in the real estate business, I got the $28,000 in my bank account, right? I got a check, cashed it, deposited, right? I get all those dollars. and then I can expense out, right? So, I mean, I might have made, a few $1,000s more or something like that, but I kept a lot more. It was eye-opening for me. I immediately knew real estate was for me. And if that's true for you, maybe real estate's for you. So, we've gone long enough here, but I just want to be really clear. Keep an eye on the numbers. Foreclosures are booming right now. They're booming. They just haven't been able to think about it. If a bank was foreclosing on somebody in December and they didn't get it done by the end of January, come February, they couldn't foreclose on them. March, they couldn't foreclose on them. April, they couldn't foreclose on them. That's 4 months worth that are going to come online immediately as soon as we're not on lockdown anymore. Okay? In addition to the 20 million people out of work, in addition to the economy going down by 20-something%, in addition to all those mega factors, we've already got 4 months additional foreclosure inventory that just hasn't hit the streets. Okay? So you're going to see a boom like never before, faster than 2007, 2008, 2009, any of that stuff. If you don't believe me, just check the stats for yourself. Okay? I mean, I'm not even making this up. If even 1% of those unemployed people can't make their mortgage payments, and we know it's more than that. Okay? Last time it was like 8%. Okay? So even if it was just 1%, that would effectively double the number of foreclosures. It's going to be many, many times more than double. All right? So get your foreclosure learning on. Get your brain ready. Get your pencil sharp. If you want to see the 5 best ways to buy foreclosures, so you can get deals right now without leaving the comfort of home. You don't have, if you're on lockdown, you can still do deals. I'll show you how to get motivated sellers. I'll show you how to get, deals you can close, by the way, over the phone or with a fax machine. You don't have to go there in person. In fact, I'd say 80+% of the foreclosure deals I do, I never set foot inside the property. Okay? It's just the nature of the way the business works nowadays. It's the 21st century. Whatever business you're in, if it isn't real estate, whatever business you're in, I'm sure, is a lot more automated than it was. But a lot of people still up here are thinking real estate is like, I got to get in there with my overalls on and start hammering nails. No, we're not HGTV shows where they buy, rehab, and sell an entire house in 22 minutes. That's not how we do it. We don't do the work ourselves. We don't often do the work at all. And in fact, on these foreclosures, a lot of them are beautiful houses that don't need repairs. Go figure. Anyway, check out the Facebook page. Tons of links there. I might put a link at the bottom of this video you can follow and go ahead and get a free foreclosure training that I did for you. You can get it streaming online immediately, so you don't even have to wait for the post office. I'll also send you a copy as a DVD. Just tell me where to send it. I'll put the link underneath this. And thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.